Hey, welcome to Take 10 with Glenn, your daily dose of wisdom in just 10 minutes. You know, life is full of decisions, challenges, and opportunities, but God's wisdom gives us the clarity to navigate it all. Each episode will dive into a powerful proverb and uncover how it applies to our life today. So take a moment, lean in, let's grow together in wisdom. Okay. Let's get started. Thanks for joining me for Proverbs 25. We're going to read in the NIV through the verse and then talk about one verse that highlighted to me and wanted to dig into a little bit. So if there's another verse that kind of jumps out at you, go ahead and put that in the comments, and I'd love to hear what you're thinking about that one was, or if you would like further commentary. All right, verse 1 says, "These are more proverbs of Solomon compiled by the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah. It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, and to search out a matter is the glory of kings. As the heavens are high and the earth is deep, so the hearts of kings are unsearchable. Remove the dross from the silver, and the silversmith can produce a vessel. Remove wicked officials from the king's presence, and his throne will be established through righteousness. Do not exalt yourself in the king's presence, and do not claim a place among his great men. It is better for him to say to you, 'Come up here,' than for him to humiliate you before his nobles. What you have seen with your eyes, do not bring hastily to court, for what will you do in the end if your neighbor puts you to shame?" Verse 9, "If you take your neighbor to court, do not betray another one's confidence, or the one who hears it may shame you, and the charge against you will stand. Like apples of gold and settings of silver is a ruling rightly given. Like an earring of gold or an ornament of fine gold is the rebuke of a wise judge to a listening ear. Like a snow-cooled drink at harvest time is a trustworthy messenger to the one who sends him. He refreshes the spirit of his master. Like clouds and wind without rain is the one who boasts of gifts never given." Verse 15, "Through patience a ruler can be persuaded, and a gentle tongue can break a bone." 16, "If you find honey, eat just enough. Too much of it, and you will vomit. Seldom set foot in your neighbor's house. Too much of you, and they will hate you. Like a club or a sword or a sharp arrow is the one who gives false testimony against a neighbor." 19, "Like a broken tooth or a lame foot is reliance on the unfaithful in a time of trouble. Like one who takes away a garment in a cold day, or like vinegar poured on a wound, is one who sings songs to a heavy heart." 21, "If your enemy is hungry, give him food to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink. In doing so, you will heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you. Like a north wind that brings unexpected rain is a sly tongue, which provokes horrified look. Better to live in a corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife. Like cold water to a weary soul is good news from a distant land. Like a muddled spring or polluted well are the righteous who give way to the wicked. It is not good to eat too much honey, nor is it honorable to search out matters. that are too deep. And verse 28 says, like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. And I chose this last verse really to key in on. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. In the ancient world, the strength of a city was their walls. No wall and no defense. That's what Solomon was getting at, self-control. Self-control is a spiritual and emotional wall. And if you don't control your spirit, you will allow things that you don't want to get in very easily. That's why in the kingdom, internal strength is greater than external power. There's some verses throughout the Bible that are pretty common that I just thought of when I was thinking about this verse of self-control. First one was the fruit of the Spirit. Galatians 5:22 and 23 lists self-control as a part of the fruit of the Spirit. So if you're controlled by the Holy Spirit, you'll also have self-control. It's not about trying to muster up enough strength or trying to behavioral modification. It's really about allowing the Holy Spirit to transform you from the inside out so that you can exercise self-control. I think the self part is a little deceiving because it's really about allowing the Holy Spirit to control us. We abide in Him, He abides in us. Remember, it says that you are not your own. You've been bought with a price. And don't you know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit? Allow Him to fill you, and He will have that control. And the old habits from the dead old nature will fall away and don't have the power that they used to have over you. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7 says, God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control or self-discipline. This means that God has given us that spirit that we can walk in it and use that for His glory. Remember, we're supposed to pray, Thy kingdom come and Thy will be done on earth. Thy will be done in our own lives, and that's how we can accomplish that. This is something that's been going on the entire existence of humanity, all the way back to the garden. Right after they got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, there was a situation with Cain and Seth. Do you remember that? In Genesis chapter 4 and verse 7, God tells Cain, sin is crouching at your door and it desires to control you, but you must control it. And so God gives us that ability to be able to do that. You know, Proverbs 25 verse 28 says that, you know, a person without self-control is like a city whose walls are broken down. Well, walls don't break down by themselves. They break down either through neglect or not appreciating exactly what you have for safety and not giving it the proper attention that it needs. If we lack self-control, not only do we start doing things that are not aligned with God's will, but it also gives the enemy spirits to come after us and harass us and torment us and tempt us not to walk in the power of the Holy Spirit. And therefore we are giving God a bad name. And I know we don't want to do that. How can we put these things into our lives in different areas of our lives? Well, in everyday life, when you get up and you go out, whether it's at work or with interaction with other people or strangers or driving in the car, or if you're married with your spouse, God has given us the power and ability to be able to walk in the Holy Spirit. And there's really not an excuse for believers, because we are no longer slaves to sin, but slaves to righteousness. And so it's a choice that we have to make. So today, I would exhort us all, walk in the power of the Holy Spirit. Build up your walls, your boundaries, the areas that are weaknesses that used to be in your life or still possibly are, so that you can gain control in those areas by the power of the Holy Spirit. So let's do that today, and I will see you tomorrow as we continue through all the Proverbs in the Bible. Well, that's it for today's Take 10. Remember, wisdom isn't just about knowing it, it's about living it out. So if today's proverb spoke to you, drop it in the comments. Share this with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily wisdom. Until the next time, keep walking in truth and manifesting God's kingdom.